The technological artifact we have chosen to analyse is My Storymaker. My Storymaker is a website which allows students to create stories from their imagination and experience. After opening the website, students enter their name into the author box and hit OK. Students are then able to select their main character, basic plotline, and secondary character before the website generates a title, which students can accept or go back and change. Students can then go through the instructions of how to use the My Storymaker artifact before starting their story. Students are able to change the background, add in scenery objects, items, and characters on each individual page, and move them around the screen. By highlighting the characters, students can select their character's emotion, action, and interaction with other characters. My Storymaker will then show this on the screen. When students do this, My Storymaker generates sentences for the students at the bottom of the page. Students can keep these or change them to fit the storyline they made up. Once they've finished their story, students click End and My Storymaker publishes their book, which they can view, print, or share, or even download. Students are also given a magic code that they can use to load their story at a later date to view. This artifact incorporates the higher thinking levels of Bloom's taxonomy, synthesizing or creating, where the students are designing and creating their own narrative, and evaluation, where students are developing their narrative skills and basing their stories on given criteria. This artifact could be used in the classroom as a whole class activity using an interactive whiteboard. The students would be able to take turns adding elements and editing text and characters. This would give them an understanding of the artifact. It can also be used as a tool for students who are struggling to grasp creative writing skills.
My Storymaker allows students to develop real-world connections, which is an essential part to any authentic learning activity. Students are able to create and develop character relationships between characters, which is a part of everyday life, by the game incorporating the use of interactive buttons which, when a character is highlighted, students can choose to make them interact, complete an action, or express an emotion. Students are able to take part in individual direction, which is an important skill for self-autonomy of learning. The game incorporates a setting a goal page, which assists students in determining a goal for their story, and then automatically creates a title which students can choose to edit based on this goal. The artifact can be used in a Stage 1 English lesson, which involves students planning, composing, and reviewing a simple imaginary text, which is supported by visual text such as the characters and setting. It involves students thinking imaginatively and creatively about a familiar topic, relationships, and composing a text using a digital form. Other curriculum links include PDHPE, where students explore interpersonal relationships, and creative arts, where students make artworks using their own experiences. The quality teaching model is a framework for pedagogy in Australian schools which should be applied to all areas of the curriculum to ensure quality teaching and learning for students. My Storymaker incorporates many of the elements of the model. Students are engaged in the artifact due to it being interactive and allowing for self-direction. Its use requires more higher order thinking than just listening or completing closed-ended questions, enhancing quality learning. Students are able to make connections between their prior knowledge and what they are learning in class. The helper button features an animated character who, when clicked, gives the user assistance on what they need to do. This feature is going to be utilised in Assignment 2 because, according to the New South Wales English Teachers Association, it benefits the classroom teacher by allowing them to assume the role as a facilitator while students are responsible for their own learning. This increases student autonomy and allows students to self-pace their own learning, which are both essential skills when learning with ICTs.